Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. For those of you that are new here, oh boy. For those of you that are new here, you're gonna see a lot of this. But I am Penny and this is Flynn the Cockatiel, and today we are building a New Orleans shotgun style house. And we're using the new Blooming Rooms kit. So this kit was basically a ton of plants and everything revolving around plants. And I had a lot of fun with this kit. If you want to check out some more of the swatches and you want to see exactly what is in this kit, I did do a review video and you can go check that out. And just so you know, I forgot one item in that review. I had forgotten one and I put it back in, and then I forgot another one because there was a decent amount of things in this kit. But anyways, if you want to check that out, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you'll see a decent amount of the plants from that kit in this build. So today we're building in Willow Creek, and Willow Creek is a great world for this kind of style. You can tell the game developers were really kind of going for a Louisiana, New Orleans kind of style with this world. And there are some shotgun houses that came with the base game. And there is a category for shotgun, although it's a little strange because it only comes with like 4 or 5 items in that category and they're all lights. It's a little weird. But anyways, so a shotgun house is a pretty basic house. As you can see, as this is being built, it's very long and very narrow. And the reason why is that they were trying to be able to fit a lot of houses on one lot. So hence the very long and narrow. The first records of shotgun houses come from the 1800s. And it's not necessarily New Orleans that you see these style houses. You do see them in other parts of the country. But the name shotgun, that's a strange name you might think for a house. So where did that come from? They're not quite sure of where this term came from. There's some theories and ideas out there. One of them is that it possibly came from a wood saw called a shotgun, or that if you took a shotgun and shot it through the house with all the doors open, it would go completely through without hitting anything. So that was just a couple of theories. The origin of this style of home isn't completely known either, but it was most likely from freed slaves that came from Haiti and actually brought this style of house from their homeland to Haiti and then to New Orleans. So like I said, this is a very basic kind of styled house. And originally, these houses, you would walk in the front door and you'd walk into the living room. And then there would be 1 or 2 bedrooms behind it, and then the kitchen. There was no hallway, which is the interesting part. So imagine you have to walk through rooms to get from the living room to the kitchen. And then there was no bathroom. Originally, there was just outhouses. So what I did in this build is I renovated this house, and a lot of these houses in New Orleans have been renovated to include a hallway, or I put the kitchen next to the living room, which I've seen some of them done, and then there's a hallway that goes to the 2 bedrooms. And then where the kitchen would normally have been originally, there would be stairs and a door there to get out. So that is still included in this build. And obviously bathrooms were added in later, and those typically went in the back with the kitchen. But like I said, I kind of remodeled this, and the bathroom is more in the center part of the house. Flynn, would you like to join us? Something else really unique about these houses is they had very high ceilings. So they were usually about 12 feet tall, which is pretty and it looks nice, but this actually helped with ventilation. So in the hot summer days, if you had the doors open and the windows open, you'd get good circulation, and then hot air would rise and the cool air would sink. Something else with these houses is that they're raised about 2 to 3 feet off the ground, which is actually not uncommon for this area. So if you're familiar with New Orleans, it's below sea level. They have potential to be hit by hurricanes, and they have. So many of the buildings are already 2 to 3 feet off the ground just for preventing flooding measures. The outside part of the house, it was typically wood siding. There are exceptions. There's brick and stone that you will see at times. And then there's also variations on this style of house. And one of them is the double shotgun, or also known as the barrel shotgun. So it's basically like taking 2 of these and putting them right next to each other. And they would share one common middle wall. So you're getting almost like a double wide kind of shotgun house. Another variety was the camelback, and that was basically like this, except in the back portion there was a second story added on. So they're quite interesting looking, but very unique. And shotguns also came in, I guess as you would say, different flavors. So you'll see Queen Anne, Italianate, Spanish Colonial, Greek Revival, Federalist. It just all depended on the homeowner over the years, and if they wanted to change things up and kind of bring their own personality and style to the house. So when you go and you look at some of these streets with these shotgun houses on them in New Orleans, it's pretty neat. They're very colorful. A lot of them can be very colorful. Depends. There's some more basic looking ones, but it's pretty fun, and it's a lot of bright colors. And that's also what I wanted to do in this house, was do some really bold, bright colors, blues, greens to complement the plants. Although the kitchen is a little bit more subdued, but yeah, the living room, I just kind of knew what I was going for in my head, and I wanted it to be bold, in your face. Very different for me, not the typical style that I do, but it was so much fun, and I feel like the plants really worked well in there. And then now the kitchen, yeah, I was doing a little bit more subdued, but I still wanted the plants to just really pop here. Something else really fun with these houses is... You don't want to be around today, huh? Oh no, you're happy? Anyways, as I was saying before you rudely left us, something that's really kind of fun and unique with these houses is they are in an area where it's a huge melting pot of a lot of cultures. So you have the Haitian African influence, you have French, you have Spanish, and then you also have other immigrants like German, and they just all brought their own cultures with them and their own ideas, and it's all kind of come together into a very unique New Orleans style. And I think that's really cool. I don't know that there's a lot of places that have that much diversity. Yes, there are, but New Orleans is very uniquely New Orleans. And you know, for a time, unfortunately, these houses were kind of looked down on in the 1900s by the middle and upper class people. But in today's day, these houses are kind of getting a little bit more interest, and people are very interested in preserving them, which I think is really cool, because this is a huge part of New Orleans history. It is. It is. So it's really nice to see people preserving these houses and taking care of them. And another unfortunate thing is with the 2005 Hurricane Katrina, a lot of these houses were very badly damaged or destroyed, which is so sad. It's so sad to lose part of this history. And then there's some that are just torn down to make way for new things. It's sad. So I'd like to bring a little bit of focus onto this style because I I think it's beautiful in its own way, just like all other architecture. Another amazing thing that's come out of New Orleans because of all the mixture of cultures is the food. And I have not been to New Orleans yet. I never thought I wanted to go, which is strange. But just for the food itself, I would go. I think of gumbo and jambalaya, and I actually made jambalaya like a couple weeks ago. It's really good, and also another very unique thing of a blend of all these cultures. So yeah, it's pretty fun, and yeah, me being the foodie, you know, I can't help but talk about food. So this is the style of house that I chose to build with the new kit, which I'm laughing a little bit, and it's kind of funny because I've seen other builders and other simmers build these light and bright, more modern builds, and they all look really amazing. I'm not saying they don't. And then what do? I just do something completely out there and different, and I mean, different for me. I have been wanting to build this style for a while, but I just figured with those bold colors, this could be pretty fun. So hopefully you're enjoying it. Before I built this house too, I had my Sims in mind of who I wanted to build this for. So I built this house for 2 roommates that are best friends. I figured they're best friends that absolutely love plants. So their house is just completely full of plants inside and out. And then I thought it would be fun to also have a cat living here. Can you imagine if in the game the sim cats would go around and knock over plants? I mean, how realistic would that be? I would laugh so hard if that happened. Maybe it would get really annoying. I think it would be hilarious. So they could always add that in just for a little fun. So I don't know. I figured these were plant lovers, and then one of them has a pet cat. Okay, these ferns, I love these ferns. So these are the ones that came with the new pack. I just find ferns to be so beautiful. So I had to add those in there too. So this is one of the 2 bedrooms, and this one I decided to do a little bit more of a modern feel. I figured the homeowner probably has a more eclectic and that out there style, and then maybe her roommate isn't as much into these big, bold colors. So I also made her bedroom a little bit more subdued, but still with as many plants as I could add in here. And then, I mean, these plants, I think all of them except there's the base game on the left plant and the succulents from Discover University. And then all the rest are the new pack plants. So I had a lot of fun. And then, you know, I had to add in that hedgehog. The hedgehog planter is so adorable. Oh yeah, so a huge amount of items that I used in this build are from the Paranormal Pack. And I just got this pack because I'm not interested in that kind of gameplay at all. But I waited till it went on sale, and I got it purely because of the decor items and the furniture. So it is very unique, and it's not going to go in every house. No, it won't. I'm sorry. But it's more of like that Queen Anne, and I also think the developers had New Orleans in mind again when they were designing and creating these pieces, and I definitely knew that's what I wanted to use in this house. Although one complaint I have is you'll see me later trying to use some of the green swatches. Yeah. The green swatches are like this dark, really pretty green, and then not all the items have that, which is so strange. I don't understand why. So then I was really having a hard time matching pieces, and then I had to change some stuff. So I'm very disappointed on that. But otherwise, the furniture is so cool. There are some really good plants also in this pack. I want to say kit, but it's a stuff pack. Yeah, the plants are very pretty. And then just some really, yeah, unique stuff that rug in the living room, which is super vibrant and beautiful. I really like that rug. The fireplace is very unique, and it's got storage shelves on the side, which is a first in the game for fireplaces. So I thought that was really interesting, and I ended up putting some books in there. I don't think that was included in the video. No, I know. You want attention. He is very, very needy today. Why are you so needy? Well, that's what happens when you don't want to be by me this morning. I offered to scratch your neck this morning. Why didn't you want me to? Oh boy. Oh yeah, so that ivy was from Romantic Garden stuff. I totally forgot that there was the swatch of more ivy and not the flowers, so that was really cool because I'm like, all right, what does this have? I figured I was going to use flowers, and then there's ivy. It's like, yes, that's exactly what I want. Me personally, I could go for more of the greenery than the flowers. I love green. Everything green. Can you tell here? So yeah, this is the desk I was kind of hinting at. This green is an awesome swatch. I love it. I absolutely love it. But then not everything else in the pack came with green or even like green accents, which is so weird. So I will end up changing this, unfortunately. It's so pretty. I like the ornate desk. It's really neat. Yeah, there's really unique items in the paranormal kit. So I feel like, yes, the new kit pairs well with that one. I feel like it pairs well with Eco Lifestyle. What are some other ones? It's like there's a little bit more modern stuff in there too. There's a couple that I feel like it would pair really well with. Yeah, here's where I ended up changing things, unfortunately. I changed the wall colors, so I'm like, all right, if I can't go with the green, I'm gonna do like a turquoise. Just that really bright, vibrant color to pop the plants. And then as you see, here there's that door that leads to the outside. So originally in this style house, this would have been the kitchen. And then the bathroom was kind of added on there later. So the bathroom placement where it is now might have been realistic for a renovation early on when they finally got indoor plumbing. Here I was also thinking, what else can I do with these viney curtains besides actually using them for curtains? Like one I used on the roommate's wall, and then I'm like, oh, I could hang these on the canopy bed. That would be really pretty. So I kind of like how that turned out. I could have added more, but I was like, I don't want it to be overkill. So there's not actually a ton of plants in that room. Like, I think her friend might be a little bit more into plants. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't want to overcrowd in there because there wasn't a ton of space. It's not the biggest house. It's decent. It's not super small. And seeing pictures of these online, there's actually a decent amount of space. These were not tiny houses. They look tiny from the front, but they're really not. There is a lot of space. So now we're going on the outside and doing landscaping. And I didn't quite know what I wanted to do, so I was kind of playing around with some stuff and trying to figure out, okay, what's going to be in a warmer climate and humid. I thought about adding palm trees, but then I was also kind of looking at the neighborhood around, and there wasn't really palm trees here, so I'm like, all right, well, I'll stick with just some other deciduous trees. And this was something I really wanted to do. So since we can't stack all these on top of each other like they would have been, because it just wouldn't be practical for gameplay, I figured, okay, this is the perfect place for their garden, and I wanted it an outside area and then just to be filled with a ton of plants. And I put in some gardening beds, which actually I will remove those in a teeny bit, and put some pots in because I knew I wanted that to be a thing. And you can definitely add more. It's just once I was starting to get more plants in here, we were running out of room really quick. So I was thinking this was a decent sized lot, but yeah, once I started landscaping, it filled up pretty quickly. Okay, well, you know what time it is. You know when I get outside and we're doing landscaping, it's time to start wrapping things up, so that's what I'm going to do. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new and you got to see the new plants in this video. So hopefully you like that. And it was hopefully something different. So don't forget, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the rest of the video, and we will see you next week. Bye!